My formula has actually changed a lot lately. I used to work everything off of the Kai 950 and just working through I had an old Core DD1 drum machine, and that's the setup I had in like 1989. That's the setup I had up until last year, and the setup got real played out. So now my setup, I work everything off of Reason. So I'm trying to get away from using samples and use more just my own inspiration and play a lot more. So I'm trying to develop my new style of how to make beats. Right now, I consider myself in like a transition stage. I need to get a little bit more equipment and get myself where I really need to be. So what my style really was before, I would just look for the hot loop and then try to find ways to chop and rock it and flip it in ways that other people wouldn't think about doing it. And also look for samples that people wouldn't think about rocking. Like everybody was kind of like, it's like when there's a hot producer who's using soul samples, everybody runs and looks at the soul records. If you see people doing that, then you need to go to the classical section. Like about 10 years ago, everybody was rocking, Wu-Tangs, everybody's rocking classical samples. Well, then you need to go to the soul section. You need to the rock section. You need to find something that other people aren't looking for and ways of doing things that other people haven't thought of and find a way to incorporate that into your style. The way we do it now is different than the way we used to do it. We used to do it, Tone and I used to actually we were roommates for a while, so we used to just be around each other all the time, kind of know what each other was thinking. And so it used to be when we were working on All Natural album, we would see each other all day, every day, and just always be working on material. Now, I'm married, Tone's married, we don't see each other as much, so we still know what each other's thinking, and we know that we're working on albums, but at the same time, it's not the same kind of connection that we used to have in terms of working on the stuff. So now when we get together to work on music, I think we appreciate it more. So now, like, we get together, our wives will be upstairs, chilling, and we'll be downstairs, like, trying to hammer out some stuff and really focused on it. Where before, it was kind of like, just in our day, we kick it, we go shop, we go eat, come back, work on something for a little bit, and, whatever. Now it's like when we get together, we're focused on, okay, I got this beat, okay, I got this rhyme, I got this idea, I don't think that's tight, we need to change that. Now it's a lot more business. The anthology is the first time we tried to really put out an album that showcased everybody on our label. A lot of people think All Natural incorporated the label and they confuse it with All Natural the group. So we wanted to make sure we showcase all the artists that we got on the label that's coming out. So Rita J's album's coming out later this year. So Rita J has a couple songs on there. Pacifics came out last year. Green Weeds. We wanted to make sure everybody got light on the album. So I think the album basically shows everybody who they are. It shows that the label is not All Natural the group. The label is all of these different artists. And each of these artists has their own style, and they're not really similar to All Natural. They're who they are. The future for All Natural. First off, we're always working on All Natural, the group, so we're working on another All Natural record. Capital D, I'm working on a solo project called High Level Hustler that's supposed to come out later this year. For the label, we got the Pacifics getting together with Illmind, who's one of the tightest producers. And so they came together and they made an EP together called The Case, and that's coming out inside of July this year. We got a group called Eurythmics, who's coming out with extended play EP in about 2 months. Like you just mentioned, we came up with the anthology that features everybody on the label. And one of the main artists that we tried to feature off of that anthology is Rita J, who's just been kind of long awaited. A lot of people have like, as far as like artists on the label, who we get the most hits for is like Rita J. Like, when's that Rita J coming out? When's the Rita J coming out? So if everybody wants to know when the Rita J's coming out, Rita J's coming out later this year. And so those are the main groups coming out this year. It will be Pacifics, Eurythmics, Capital D, and Rita J. We also got the Blackstone Theater coming out. One of the things we're trying to do with the label is actually try to switch the label from only doing independent hip hop to get into other styles of music. Like, I've always got into other styles of music, but the label never really put them out. So we got my man Andy C, who's done production from everybody from like Janet Jackson to All Natural. He is coming out with a project called Blackstone Theater, which is a lot more dance project, a lot more kind of dance and house-based project, which is still our roots coming from Chicago. And so, since everybody's focused on Chicago and off of hip-hop, we're trying to show a different side of what Chicago is, you know what I'm saying? And this is not a hip-hop / house record. This is a straight-up house record. This is straight-up soul / house record. And so it's a different thing for the label, but it's something that's overdue for Chicago, I think. I'm still gonna be doing it 5 years from now. If I'm living, I'm still gonna be doing it. So the question is really, what level am I going to be doing that in 5 years? If we can get, the master plan is to take the legal work, take the interaction that I have and the connections that I have on the legal side, get some investment money, and blow All Natural up. And put everybody that's on the label, give them the marketing, give them the shine that they deserve, and let them take it where they can take it. If that happens, then the label will be on a whole nother level in 5 years. I think it'll be seen as not the independent label from Chicago, but as the independent label, period. And then if we get the correct artists to do what they're capable of doing, it could be seen as one of the labels, period. Is where I see where it could go. But that's all dependent on us getting the proper financing. I mean, this is the game that we playing in. It's like, you gotta have money, you gotta pay to play. And so if that happens, we'll be on that level, I think. If that doesn't happen, then we'll still be just the underground hip hop label putting out good music. Like, what is what I consider ourselves right now, and we'll be cool with that. So, and I'll still be working my job, and I'll just be happy doing that.